Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about how I deal with my cravings or my food addiction, like kind of the feelings that I get when I really want to just indulge in my addiction and just engage in that addictive behavior. So, what I mean by that is that a lot of the times I'll be sitting here and with the binge eating disorder that I have, even if I'm not hungry, let's say I just had a meal, and all of a sudden out of the blue, if I'm not keeping myself like super occupied, I will like just start craving anything, whether that's chips, crackers, pretzels, carrots, grapes, fruit, whatever. There's been times when I have engaged in these addictive behaviors where I would actually go downstairs, fix something to eat, or fix another plate of what we had for dinner or whatever, even though I already know that I had enough to eat. And I would just eat it. And then later, like, my stomach would hurt. I would feel super guilty. I would be really mad at myself because I'm like, you didn't need this food. You really didn't. But then you screwed it all up because you went and you ate the food anyways, and now you're feeling sick because of it. You would think that your brain would signal your body that, you don't need this. Hey, stop eating. Way before you get to the point where you've ate like a whole bag of chips and, drank a liter of soda or whatever. And not that I do that because I don't even drink soda anymore, really. Very rarely do I have a soda. But in the past, I have. In the past, I used to get like the 2-liter things of soda and drink it right out of the bottle. That's terrible, but that's what I used to do. Now, I'm good with my water. I actually crave water now, so that's a good thing for me anyways. But how I deal with those food addictions now, like back then when I would get those cravings, I would just give into it. I really didn't have like any willpower. I didn't even try to stop myself. And honestly, back then when I was dealing with it in that way, I didn't even want to admit to myself that there was a problem with the behavior that I was engaging in. But now I have definitely admitted to myself that it is an addiction and that it's completely unnecessary. Like I have mentioned in previous videos, I am participating in a 12-step program to kind of deal with the food addiction and kind of my feelings and cravings and impulses and, the compulsive behavior that I have. So kind of what I've learned to do when I start feeling that way is I will grab my water bottle and I will take a big drink of water. Because a lot of times when you quote unquote feel hungry, it's actually your body signifying that you need to drink more water. And I didn't know this before, but once I found that out, I started, well, not right away, but I started drinking water to kind of try to see, if the hunger goes away. A lot of times it does, that quote unquote hungry feeling. Not that I'm actually hungry, but that, oh, I could use a snack or whatever, which I really don't need it. But I do that, or like I will actually get to the point where I'm looking in the refrigerator or in the cabinet or something, or the pantry for something to eat or to snack on, and I'll just look at it, and then, if I catch myself doing that, I will think to myself, it's not worth it. You're not actually hungry. You have had enough to eat. If you engage in this behavior, you're going to be feeling really guilty and mad at yourself later. It's really not worth it. And a lot of times, me thinking that to myself or even saying it out loud to myself is enough to get me to close the refrigerator or the cabinet or the pantry and turn around, walk away, come back upstairs, and I just completely avoid it. But another way is to keep myself busy doing something else or chewing on gum. because when I chew on gum, it kind of helps me because I have something in my mouth to chew on. So, like, a lot of times they say that, it could just be, you're used to binge eating, so you need to put something in your mouth like you're feeding yourself, but obviously gum, you're still chewing and whatever. I've heard that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, to be honest. But sometimes it does help. So, I don't know. It's just super frustrating having a food addiction because it's not like the other addictions, like with alcohol or drugs, things like that. You can stop those. You don't need those things to survive. But food, you need food to survive. So it's like one of those things where if you don't eat, then you could die. But, if you had an addiction to alcohol or an addiction to drugs, you could completely cut those things out of your life and you would still be able to survive without them. Obviously, if it's serious enough, you would probably have to have some type of medical intervention to help you through that withdrawals, especially if you get DTs and things like that. But I don't know. It's so frustrating having a food addiction because, food is always going to be a part of your life. So it's like you have to mentally deal with it, and you have to really learn willpower. If you have a food addiction, learning willpower and learning to tell yourself no and connecting that you don't need this, it's so difficult. It is so difficult. And that is kind of where I'm at right now, is like even right now as I'm filming this, I really want to go downstairs and pop some popcorn because I have like this huge box of popcorn and I just want some popcorn. But I told myself that I was restricting calories so that I can lose weight and get closer to my actual weight loss goal, which is like down to the ideal weight or as close to the ideal weight for my height as possible, which the ideal weight for my height is like 140 something, somewhere around there. And currently right now, well, the last time I weighed myself, I was at like 290. So yeah, obviously I have a long way to go, but yeah, this kind of just don't if you have a food addiction, don't allow yourself to continue to sabotage your efforts. Do not sabotage yourself. Don't allow it. It's so hard to actually not sabotage yourself and not allow yourself to engage in those behaviors. Believe me, I know. I've sabotaged myself plenty of times, and I have given in to the temptations plenty of times. But you'll feel better about yourself if you can actually conquer your food addiction. Believe me. That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm not saying that I've conquered it. I definitely haven't. I still struggle with my food addiction all the freaking time. But I try. I'm battling it right now, and I'm trying to overcome it. You have no idea. As of right now, today is the first day that I have not so far engaged in those behaviors where I'm giving in to my food addiction. So I guess you could say that I am one day sober. Today is the first day. Not necessarily sober, but without engaging in the addictive behavior. But yeah, food is my drug, literally. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you have any tips on how I can deal with like the food cravings or anything like that, let me know, because that would definitely be helpful. Because I get cravings all the time, and like I said, right now I'm craving that movie theater butter popcorn that's downstairs, and I'm not going to give into it because I know that I don't need it. I just had a meal replacement shake like an hour ago, maybe 45 minutes ago, something like that. I can't give into it this time. But yeah, hopefully you got something out of this video and it wasn't just all over the place. If it was, I apologize. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.